Hi, hello, good morning. This is Ramesh Kumar Lalkota, Assistant Professor of Botany, MBS Government Arts and Science College, Autonomous, Nagar, Telangana. Today, we will discuss one more family from Polypetale, that is Fabaceae. Coming to its diversity and distribution, this family is commonly called as P family, and it includes 482 genera and 12,000 species distributed all over the world. In India, about 100 genera and about 750 species are present. And the place from where I dwell, that is Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, 223 species spread over 52 genera. Among these, the largest genus is Astragalus with about 2000 species, and the type genus of this family is Faba. Hence, the family is known as Fabaceae. Now we will see some common plants and familiar plants of this family. See, these are the pictures of the common and familiar plants. Astronomini aspera. Uh, in Telugu, it is called as Jiluga. In Hindi, it is Lagauni, and in English, it is Sola Pit plant. Okay, we will discuss all three languages, the common names, local language, Hindi, and in English. Okay, the first one is Astronomini aspera, as we said. In Telugu, it is called Jiluga. In Hindi, it is Laugani, and in English, it is Solapit plant. The next one is Abrus precatorius. You can see here, this is the beautiful plant with the red seeds. It is called Guruvinda in Telugu and Gunja in Hindi, and Rosary P in uh, English, the common name. It has many common names in English. One of them is Rosary P. Okay, crab's eye. We can also call it as crab's eye. This is Arachis hypogea, which is commonly called Verusenaga. In Hindi, it is called Mungfali, and in English, we call it as groundnut. This one is Butea frondosa, earlier, which was also called as Butea monosperma. This is in Telugu, it is called as Moduga, and in Hindi, it is called Palash. And the common name in English is the flame of the forest, as the flowers look just like flame. It is commonly called as flame of the forest in English. Okay, this is uh, Butea superba. It is a creeper. Its name in Telugu is Tiga Moduga, and in Hindi it is Lata Palash. This one is Kajanas Kajan. We call it as Kandulu. In Hindi it is Arhar, and in English it is red gram. This one is Sisa aritinum. We call it as Senegalu in Telugu, Chana in Hindi, and in English it is commonly called as chickpea. This one is Clitoria ternacea, commonly called Shankupushpi in Telugu, Aparajita in Hindi, and butterfly pea in English language. This one, Cymopsis soralioides, which is a vegetable, and this one is called as Goru Chikkudu in Telugu, Gova in Hindi, and cluster bean in English language. This one, Dalbergia latifolia. In Telugu, it is Jittegi, Kalasisham in Hindi, and rosewood, Indian rosewood in English. Dalbergia sisu. The photo is not there, but Dalbergia sisu is also one of the common species. And Dalbergia sisu is commonly known as sisu plant, and in Hindi, it is called a sisham. Okay, this one is Dolichus biflorus. Dolichus biflorus, we call it as Ulavalu. In Hindi, it is called Kulti, and in English we call it as horsegram, Dolichus biflorus. This one is Dolichus lablab. Dolichus lablab, we call it chikudu. In Hindi, it is batwas, and in English, it is hyacinth bean. This one, glycine max, commonly called soya bean, and in Hindi, it is called batwar. This one, Lathyrus odoratus, Lathyrus odoratus. Okay. This one commonly called as batani or sweet pea, Lathyrus odoratus, sweet pea. This one, Indigofera tinctoria. In Telugu, it is Nilimandu, we call, and in Hindi, it is Neel, from which the blue powder is prepared. And in English, the common name is true indigo. Okay, this one, Pisum sativum, called Batani. In Hindi, it is called Mutter, and in English, garden pea. This one, Vigna trilobatus, called Pillipesara, and in Hindi, Mungun, and in English we call it as wild gram. This one, Vigna radiata called as Pesalu, and in Hindi we call it as Moong, and in English green gram is its common name. Then Phaseolus mungo, we call it as Minumulu. In Hindi it is called Urad dal, and in English its common name is black gram. This is Pongamia pinnata. We call it as Kanuga, and in Hindi it is Kalinga. In English it is Indian beech. This one, Chirocarpus santalinus, we call it as Raktachandanam, and popularly known as red sandal in English. This one, Tephrosia purpurea, we call it as Vempali. And this one, Trigonella poenum graecum, this one is Menthi, used as a leafy vegetable, and the seeds are also used in uh, uh, various dishes. Okay, this one is Trigonella phenum graecum, and the last one is Vigna Kadjan. We call it as Alchandalu or Pebberlu, and in Hindi it is called Lobia, and in English its common name is cowpea. So these are the plants, the common plants in this family, which have uh, very good economic importance. Uh, this family is rich in pulses, which are highly proteinaceous, and some vegetables are also there. So we will see the features, the vegetative features as well as reproductive features of this family. When coming to habitat, these plants are mostly mesophytes. We already discussed in our earlier classes what are mesophytes. Mesophytes are the plants which grow in enough water and sunlight conditions. Okay, they do not like much wet or much dry conditions, moderate conditions. They live in moderate conditions. Okay, so such plants are called mesophytes. Some exceptions are there, Neptunia and Astronomini. Both of them are aquatic in nature. You can see in these pictures, Neptunia and Astronomini. These two are hydrophytes of this family. And Ulex and Parkinsonia aculeata are xerophytic in nature. Mostly mesophytes, but with these exceptions, Neptunian Astronomia are aquatic, Ulex and Parkinsonia aculeata are uh, xerophytic in nature. When coming to habit, most of the plants are herbs. We have herbs, shrubs, trees, twiners, tendril climbers, climbing shrubs. Everything are there in this family. We will see examples for each one of them. First, annual herbs, Phaseolus, Crotalaria, and Tephrosia are annual herbs of this family. Cajanus, Sesbania, and Flemingia are shrubs. You can see here, this is Crotalaria, which is an annual herb. Cajanus, which is a shrub, and Pongamia, Dalbergia, Pterocarpus. All these are trees in this family. Dolichus and Clitoria are twiners. You can see here, this is Clitoria. It is a climber. Okay. Then tendril climbers are also seen, the plants which uh, climb the support with the help of the tendrils. So these are called tendril climbers. Lathyrus and Pisum are tendril climbers in this family, and a climbing shrub is also seen. This is Abrus precatorius, which grows very bushy, and it is a climbing shrub. So this is regarding the habit of this family. Now we will see the root system. Root system is a taproot system which is much branched, and it bears root nodules. What is the importance of root nodules? They fix the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogenous compounds. Rhizobium bacteria lives in symbiosis with these roots, and it fixes the atmospheric nitrogen into the uh, usable form to the plants. Okay, then um, there is an exception also here. Tuberous roots are seen in Dolichos fulcatus. What are tuberous roots? The roots which store food material are called tuberous roots. So tuberous roots are seen in Dolichos fulcatus. And when coming to the stem, stem is aerial, it is erect, herbaceous in nature, and branched. Herbaceous only in herbs, not in all plants. Okay, herbaceous means green stem, weak stem. The stem which is seen in herbs is known as herbaceous. Okay, it is green in color and it is weak. In all other plants which are trees, the stem is woody. Okay, and in the stem is weak and twining in Lathyrus and Pisum, where they are climbers. They climb the support with the help of the tendrils. Okay, and it is woody in Dalbergia and Erythrina. You can see here in these pictures, this is Dalbergia and this is Erythrina variegata, where the stem is woody. Okay, in Lathyrus Pisum, it is it is weak and twining. Okay, it climbs over the support. So this is root system and stem in Fabaceae family. Now we will see leaves. Leaves are alternate. They are stipulate. What are stipules? We already discussed. The stipules are the green scale-like, scale leaf-like structures which are present at the base of the petiole. You can see here these two structures. We call them as stipules. Okay. So if the stipules are present, the leaves are stipulate. If the stipules are absent, we call them as exstipulate. So here we have stipules. So the leaves are stipulate. What is alternate? At each node, only one leaf is present. Okay, so at the other node, the leaf again, uh, only one leaf is present, and which makes about 180 degrees with the earlier leaf. Okay, so the leaves are alternate, they are stipulate, they are petiolate, and pinnately compound. See, this is the primary axis over which the leaves are present on either side. The leaflets, these are leaflets. As a whole, this is the leaf with the primary rachis on which the leaflets are present. Okay, so most of the leaves are pinnately compound and the leaf base is swollen. See, this is the pulvinous leaf base, swollen leaf base, and the venation is reticulate venation. Okay, and a few exceptions are also there. The leaves are trifoliately compound in Indigofera glandulosa. You can see here clearly this is a trifoliate leaf. This is the leaf. See, you can see here these are alternate with each other. This is one leaf, this is the other leaf. Okay, the leaf has petiole and three leaflets. It bears three leaflets. So trifoliately compound leaf in Indigofera glandulosa and Crotalaria gentiana, and bifoliately compound in Zornia diphylla. You can see here this is Zornia diphylla, where the leaves are bifoliately compound. And in Lathyrus, the terminal leaflet get modified into tendrils. So you can observe that in this picture. So the terminal leaflets, they modify into the tendrils with the help of which it climbs over the support. Okay, so this is regarding the leaves. And when coming to the reproductive morphology, inflorescence, inflorescence is a simple raceme. You all know that what is a raceme. racemose type of inflorescence. We have indefinite growth of the peduncle, and the flowers are arranged in acropetal succession. So here the inflorescence is a simple raceme. Either it may be axillary or terminal. If the flower develops from the axis of the leaf, we call it as axillary, or if the terminal bud develops into a inflorescence, we call it as a terminal inflorescence. Okay. Then in Phaseolus, the inflorescence is umbel, and in trifolium, you can see here it is a head inflorescence in trifolium, and the in Indigofera cordifolia, it is a solitary flower. See, it grows in the axis of the leaf. This is an axillary position. The inflorescence is a solitary inflorescence. Only one single flower develops from each axis. Okay, so this is regarding the inflorescence. We have raceme, we have umbel, we have head, and we have solitary flowers in this family. Okay, now coming to individual flower, the flowers are bracteate, water bracts. Again, the green scale leaf-like structures which are present on the peduncle of an inflorescence are called as bracts. If these bracts are seen on an individual flower, we call them as bracteoles. Okay, in inflorescence we have many flowers. So if the peduncle bears the bracts, we call it as bracteate. If the individual flowers in a inflorescence bears bracteoles, we call it as bracteolate. Okay, so these inflorescence these flowers are bracteate and bracteolate. The inflorescence bear bracts, and individual flowers bear bracteoles. Okay, bracteate, bracteolate, pedicellate. What is the pedicel? The stalk of a individual flower is called pedicel. The stalk of the inflorescence is called peduncle. Okay, so then the stalk of individual flower is called pedicel. So they are pedicellate. The flower is a complete flower. What is complete flower? If all the four holes are present, then we call it as a complete flower. What are the four holes? The calyx, corolla, androsium, and gynosium. If four holes are present, then we call it as a complete flower. When the flower is complete, it is definitely a bisexual flower. That means both the male and female reproductive organs, that is androsium and gynosium, are present. And these flowers are zygomorphic in nature. Zygomorphic means bilateral symmetry. They can be made into two equal halves in only one plane. Okay, so this is bilateral symmetry, and we call it as zygomorphic flowers. Only in one plane we make it into two equal halves. Okay, and these are diclymedious. Diclymedious means the perianth is in two holes, and heteroclymedious, we can easily distinguish between calyx and corolla. Okay, calyx is green in color, corolla is in beautiful colors. Okay, so we can easily distinguish between sepals and petals. Such condition is known as heteroclymidous condition, and these flowers are pentamerous. Pentamerous means either the floral parts are five in number or multiples of five. Okay, and these flowers are hypogynous or perigynous in condition. Hypogynous means all the other floral parts they develop from below the gynosium. This is the gynosium. So from below the gynosium, all other floral parts such as anthers, these petals, these sepals, they develop from below the gynosium. Such a condition is known as hypogynous condition, and the position of the ovary is superior when compared to all other uh, floral parts. It is upper in position, so we call it as a superior ovary. Ovary position is superior. And sometimes in some members it is perigynous. Perigynous means all the other floral parts they develop from uh, middle of the gynosium. Okay, so it may also called as half inferior or half superior. Hmm. Now coming to calyx, sepals are five in number. We already said that it is pentamerous, so five in number. Sepals fuse, gamosepalous condition is seen. Okay, then the estivation is valvate estivation. What is estivation? Estivation is arrangement of floral parts in bud condition is known as estivation. And this valvate estivation, the floral edges, you see the sepals, the edges of the sepals just touch each other, they do not overlap. Okay, such such an arrangement is known as valvate estivation. And sometimes in Vicia faba, it is ascendingly imbricate. Ascendingly imbricate. You can see here, imbricate estivation. We have one sepal completely inside, covered by the edges of the successive these sepals, and one is completely out. Both the edges are completely out, and the remaining three, one edge in and one edge out. Such type of uh, this estivation is known as imbricate estivation. Okay, so this is regarding calyx and corolla. This is very important. uh, the corolla in this Fabaceae, we call it as a papilionaceous. Petals are 5 in number, and they are polypetalous condition. They are in polypetalous condition. See, all of them are free. They are not united. Okay, and the type of corolla here, we call it as papilionaceous type of corolla. Okay, uh, how to describe this papilionaceous type of corolla? The posterior odd petal is larger than all the other petals. So see, this one is the posterior odd petal, which is larger than all other petals, and we call it as a standard petal or vexillum. Okay, which encloses the wing petals. So these are the wing petals, boat shaped. Okay, so these vexillum or standard petal, it covers the wing petals. These two petals are wing petals. You can see here, these are the wing petals, this is the standard petal. In turn, these wing petals encloses the keel petals. See, this one is the keel petal, the innermost one. Okay, so the wing petals encloses the keel petals. And um, during pollination, we see the piston mechanism here. When the insect comes and uh, sits on this petals, it pushes the petal down, and the essential organs, they get exposed. Okay, so such type of mechanism, we call it as piston mechanism. Okay. So here the estivation is descendingly imbricate estivation. Descendingly imbricate estivation, you can see here, uh, the outermost odd petal which is present in the posterior side, it completely enclosing the wing petals. These are the wing petals, and these wing petals in turn, they cover the keel petals or carina. Carina or keel petals. Okay, so this is descendingly imbricate estivation. Okay, very important. Okay, papilionaceous type of corolla and piston mechanism. Then coming to the third hole, the male reproductive organs, we call it as androsium. In androsium, we have 10 stamens arranged in two bundles. We call it as diadelphous condition. See, 9 stamens, they form a single bundle. They all of the 9 stamens, their filaments fuse together. Only their terminal position, that is their anthers, remain free, and the filaments, they are fused. Okay, and one single stamen is free. That means there are two bundles, one with one stamen and the other with 9 stamens. So 9 plus 1 condition, we call it. Okay, so this is diadelphous condition seen in these Fabaceae members. Sometimes they are arranged in 5 plus 5 condition. Okay, in Smithia, we see this condition 5 plus 5 arrangement of this stamens. And in Arachis and Dalbergia, we have monadal first condition. See, this is monadal first condition. All the 10 stamens, they fuse together to form a single bundle. So we call them as monadal first state. Okay, so anthers are dithecous and they are intrors. Intrors means they are not exposed to outside. We cannot see from far distance. Okay, they are enclosed within the petals. Petals completely cover the these anthers. We cannot see them. They are not exposed to outside. Okay, then gynosium. Gynosium is monocarpellary. Only single carpel is present. Carpel is the unit of female reproductive structures. It has stigma, style, and ovary. Stigma, style, and ovary. Okay, it is each carpel represents a single reproductive unit, female reproductive unit. Okay, here only one carpel is seen. It is monocarpellary, unilocular. This is the locule inside the ovary. Okay, unilocular, and ovary superior in position. We said that in a hypogynous condition, all other floral pods develop from below this ovary. So the position of the ovary is superior, or superior ovary with many ovules in marginal placentation. See, this is the marginal placentation. Okay, inside the locule, the ovule arises from the margin. Okay, here is the placenta. From this placenta, this ovary arises. Okay, so marginal placentation. Mm, and when coming to the pollination takes place uh, by insects. Entomophilous pollination is observed in this family, as the petals are very bright and beautiful, multicolored and attractive. They attract the insects, and the pollination is entomophilous. And the fruit formed after fertilization, either it may be a legume or a pod, and it splits along the dorsal sides and ventral sutures. Okay, at maturity, these fruits, they split along dorsal and ventral sutures. Now coming to its floral formula, uh, see, BR means bracteate, zygomorphic. Percentage symbol represents zygomorphic. They are bisexual, and the calyx is 5, gamosepalous. So we are writing it inside the brackets. And this Corolla is papilionaceous, one standard petal, two wing petals, and two keel petals. Keel petals alone are fused. This is standard petal, and wing petals are free, whereas keel petals, they are fused. So we are writing keel petals in bracket. And Androsium, it is a total of 10 stamens are present. 9 are fused together forming a bundle, and 1 is free. So as a whole, 2 bundles of stamens are seen, and we call it as diadelphous condition. Gynosium is monocarpellary with a superior ovary. Ovary position is superior. That means hypogynous condition. Okay. Then depiction of this floral formula pictorially is known as floral diagram. See, this is the outermost hole which represents calyx. Calyx, we have 5 just touching the edges. So this is valvate estivation, and here this is the standard petal covering the 2 wing petals, which in turn covers the uh, carina. Okay, the innermost small boat like petals. Okay, so this is descendingly imbricate estivation. Okay, now you can see this is the third hole which represents androsium. We have 10 stamens, 9, 1 bundle and 1 free. Okay, diadal first condition, and a monocarpellary ovary with a marginal placentation. Okay, so this is floral diagram. Now regarding its economic importance, it has um, very good economic importance. The members of this family, they are uh, very important economically. Okay, so in medicinally, ab- Abrus precatorius, it is a poisonous plant, even though it has contraceptive properties. Roots and leaves increase vitality. Abrus precatorius and Butia monosperma, bark and flowers are used in controlling excessive urination. Seeds are insecticidal. Sicera ritinum, leaves increase digestion. Crotalaria gentiae, it is insecticidal in nature. Dolichos biflorus, it dissolves stones in kidneys and gives strength. Okay, the seeds gives strength. And Mucuna prurita, it gives strength and increases vitality. And Sesbania grandiflora, leaves increase lactation, dissolve kidney stones. And Pterocarpus santalinus, wood has the property of purification of blood. And Trigonella phenum graecum, it cures diarrhea, decreases nervous debility. Okay, this is medicinally how the members of this family are useful. And next, most of them are pulses. They have high protein value. So the pulses in this family are Cajanus cajon, Sisa aritinum, Vigna radiata, Phaseolus mungo, Pisum sativum. Okay, all these are pulses, and this Arachis hypogea, the seeds of which are nutritive, and we can eat these seeds raw, or oils can be extracted from these seeds. Okay, this is Arachis hypogea. And vegetables in this family are Cymopsis soralioides, cluster bean, which is commonly called, and Dolichos biflorus. These are also highly nutritive, the seeds. Then Dolichos lab, a vegetable, and this Trigonella phenum graecum, leafy vegetable, commonly called menthe. Okay, Sesbania grandiflora, leaves are also used as vegetables. Mm, the oils extracted from Arachis hypogea seeds and glycine max, and the fiber giving plants of this family are Crotalaria. See, this is sun hemp, the fiber extracted from this Crotalaria gentiana. Okay, and Vicia and Sesbania also, they also give the uh, fibers. Okay, then fodder, cattle feed. Okay, Phaseolus trilobus, Trifolium, Medicago, Glycine max, Arachis hypogea, all these plants are used as fodder to the cattle. And coming to the systematic position as per Bentham and Hooker uh, division, phanerograms, as these plants are flowering plants and seed bearing plants, we keep these plants in phanerograms. Dicotyledonide, uh, the characters of dicotyledonide are taproot system, and reticulate venation, tetramerous or pentamerous condition, and uh, two cotyledons are present. So all these characters are seen. So they are placed in dicotyledonide, and polypetalae, Perianthus biseriate, distinct corolla and free petals. Sepals are fused, but petals are free. So they are placed in polypetalae. Okay. Then calyciflorae, thalamus concave, sepals fused and adnate to gynosium, and superior are perigynous ovaries. So all these characters, by these characters, we can keep this uh, family in Calyciflorae series. And the order stamens twice or more than the number of petals, so they are placed in rosales. And when all these things, and papilionaceous corolla, uh, piston mechanism, all these things include this in Fabaceae family. So this is regarding Fabaceae family, very important. So this is all for today. Thank you very much for watching.